Welcome to Blind City. I had to lose my sight to find my vision.
Are you blind? Are you blind? Open your eyes. They lying every time, so I don't trust men, only trust God. I had to lose my sight before I could see the light.
Welcome to Blind City. See, Blind City is a condition. Crime, racism, and poverty. We have to put the word neighbor back into hood. I had over 31 surgeries and lost my sight and fight to glaucoma. I tried killing myself 3 times in one day, and I was unsuccessful. And then I heard a voice tell me, use your weakness as a strength to inspire and create awareness through Blind City, the podcast. I will address the issues that are plaguing our society, like poor education, that are turning our broken neighborhoods into the breeding grounds for prisons, bootleg preachers, crooked politicians that have my people dancing like strippers in the community. Let's talk about it, or we can flip tables like Jesus. Welcome to Blind City. This is Blind City, the podcast. I'm your host, Langford Cunningham, along with Dr. Porter. We are the therapy for these streets. And like I said before, the most dangerous man in the world is a blind man with a handgun. Welcome to Blind City, the podcast. I'm your host, Langford Cunningham. We are the therapy for these streets. I had to lose my sight to find my vision. The triple OG, Mr. Sims, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing today, Langford?
Oh, blessing blind, using my disability as a strength to empower a community.
Yes.
Oh, we got some great people rolling up to the city.
Talk to me.
We got my man, the backwoods ambassador, Lex Luger, coming out of Jackson, Mississippi.
That sounds good.
Oh, can't wait to talk to Lex Luger. He has a show on the Hype Magazine Network like us called It's Lit.
Yes.
We have another guest rolling up to the city.
Who is that?
Views from the Arch out of St. Louis.
All right.
Gang, gang. Gang, gang. He's coming out of a gang. He left the gang about 6-7 years ago, and he's still looking over his shoulder. He has to wear a mask. He can't be seen on camera. Because dudes still may be looking for him. So we got to talk about that with Dr. Porter. A lot of these kids get in these gangs, and they think when they get out, it's done. Oh, it ain't like no job, bro. You can quit a job, but you really can't quit a gang, because when you out there in them streets and you shooting at people, they shoot back.
That's right.
Blind City, the podcast. We will be right back after these messages. We are the therapy for these streets. Hype Magazine Network, Grind City TV.
Yes.
The views expressed on Blind City are to inspire and motivate people who are struggling through the dark times and searching for the true light.
Are you blind? Are you blind? Open your eyes. They lying every time, so I don't trust men, only trust God. I had to lose my sight before I could see the light.
This is Blind City, the podcast, with your host, Langford Cunningham.
Blind City, the podcast. I'm your host, Langford Cunningham. We are the therapy for these streets. I had to lose my sight to find my vision. On the Hype Magazine Network and Grind City TV, I have a special guest just rolled up to the city down in Jackson, Mississippi. You might know of him because he be around everywhere. Everywhere I talk to him, he's on the road. He's making things happen. And he also has a story that will empower people. Lex Luger, how you doing? Backwoods ambassador.
Man, I'm great, man. Glad to be on your platform, man. I definitely appreciate the invite from you and your team, man.
Oh, man, no problem, man. Let's get right to it, man. Let's flip tables like Jesus, man. Huh.
All right.
YFN Lucci, NBA Youngboy, Pooh Shiesty, man. The feds out here ain't playing, man. Or is it the rappers making the mistakes? Who's fumbling at the goal line, Lex Luger?
Well, I mean, it's the rapper making mistakes, though. The feds just doing their job, man. And especially, man, these young guys, they getting a lot of money. And, you got to kind of change your way of thinking. Even though I can understand that their way of thinking kind of got them where they at as far as the success. But they still have to kind of change their way of thinking. Some of the people they may hang around, like, situations change. You ain't got to do all those silly things, man, when you reach the level of success that they've reached, especially, man.
You right, man, but they seem like they surrounded by a lot of yes men. It's like by their mistakes, it seems like they don't have too many OGs in their camp, or they just don't want to listen, man. I know I try to speak to some of the youngsters here in St. Louis, man, that be rapping, and it's like, you can't tell them nothing, man. They think they got the game figured out. It's like they don't give you the years that you live, like you don't know what you doing.
Yeah, man. Well, I can't speak for who's around them, but definitely though, with most people, man, it really takes bumping your head. I mean, I was one of those people too. You know what I mean? God put me through things to get me on the path I'm on now. And, I was told better of things I did when I was younger, but I didn't listen. So I can't really blame them for some of that. But I mean, at some point though, some of the things that they doing, I mean, a little common sense kick in with some of those things, if they are as reported, because I do know that sometimes the way the stories are reported is not the way they exactly went. So,
well, that's true. We got to find out. Once they go through the courts. That's definitely true. But I'm like you. If you keep crashing, someone got to let you know, man. Damn, I gotta change up the way how I do some things. You know what I'm saying? And just as how they getting caught though, man. I mean, they renting luxury cars and still doing robberies. I mean, I don't get it, bruh. When we came up, man, if we made a move in the street, you didn't make it around a lot of attention, though.
Not at all, man. Not at all.
You don't rob a bank in a Mercedes Benz, bro.
Not at all. Not at all. But now you speak on that Pooh Shiesty story. I must interject the fact that how that's reported is very peculiar. I do think that how it's reported is a little mistaken, because I do know that guy that he had met up with and accused of robbing, that he had rented a car from. And I think that conversation or whatever they had went left and some other things transpired though. So as I say, man, I really don't, I try not to judge no one, and I try to look through the extra when it comes to the media, because I've been in that position before where the media don't report things as accurate as they should, and they only report what they assume sometimes, and they interject words to where they easily get overlooked, like accused of, suspected of, supposedly, so they interject words that don't mean it's true, but the average person overlook those words that they interject.
I hear you, but I also say this too, though, man. We got to take accountability, though, bro. I mean, we on YouTube with guns. I mean, we incriminate ourselves in a lot of ways, though, bro. I mean,
yes, sir.
I'm blind and I'm hearing what's going on the internet. When I had vision, they were doing that then. I mean, why are you showing everybody you got a lot of money, man? Why you laying on the floor with stacks all around you? You setting yourself up to get robbed.
Yes,
Who was the
sir.
other rapper out of New York? The brother we lost. He was on social media and they got his address off and they robbed him and killed him.
Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke.
Yeah, now don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Neither. Now I ain't excusing nothing.
I'm not saying that. Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying that it's, how it's kind of told. The stories may be a little, but it's regardless though, they still doing putting money on Instagram, guns on Instagram or any social media. It's straight evidence, jury, and all this here for a moment of, I don't know, they call it clap nowadays, is really, really silly, and ignorant. And it's almost as if, the young want to die young, man. And it makes no sense to me.
Facts. I mean, even if they talk to Lil Boosie, well, Lil Boosie not little no more. Boosie grown. But Boosie said when he was on death row, when he went to trial, they played all his old music against him.
Yes, sir.
They go back and get your recordings and all your information off Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and they use it against you in court, man.
Yeah, man. On one of the platforms, on one of our platforms, I'm director of a show called Weekly Time Capsule, and we kind of do the weekend review, and we try to give people information. And that's one of the things that we give people that all the rappers out there and anybody watching this broadcast need to know there is still a such thing as the rap police. Now, that, of course, that's the name that we give them, but there are those people who watch the rappers. Listen to their lyrics and see if their lyrics are true and go after them, especially once they reach a certain point. So don't nobody think that that's a game, even when you watching Tupac and Biggie stories and they telling you about the rap police have been in existence for over 20 years now. So y'all best believe they still out there. And you know, you once you get that money, man, you ain't gotta be still moving like that, man. Even though you might not have to move like that anyway. Really get a bag, but I ain't gonna tell nobody how to live. I'm telling you though, when you get some real money, man, it is time to change some things, bro.
That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying, because the feds, they all over the internet, bro. I mean, matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the police and the feds started the internet. They say Mark Zuckerberg did it, but hey, man, I don't know. When it come to us, bro, booby traps are all over the place. And I still feel like this, Lex Luger. If they unplug social media today, all these will be unemployed.
Well, a lot of them definitely will be. I bet you that.
But anyway, let's get into your story, man. How did you start Hood Idol Entertainment?
Well, basically, man, the platform. First of all, let me let people know what the term mean. Okay. Well, you already could see what hood mean, and like you, man, we're trying to put the word neighbor back in the word hood. But hood, you know. Could be anybody from any type of, area or whatever. It's just how we shorten neighborhood. But the word idol is someone you look up to. That's someone who's beloved and really someone that's admired. So what we want people to be is people who come from those hoods to be a positive inspiration and a positive role model and somebody for others to look up to and be like, okay, I can make it out this situation and I could do better. Me, myself, I was one of those people, man. I used to look up to the wrong people at one point in time. I did a lot of different things. I have done time in prison. I even went to trial against the feds, facing life in prison. God let me come home from that situation and beat that trial. And
stop. Rewind. You beat the trial? You beat the feds?
Yeah. 2 years. Took me 2 years, no bond, going back and forth to court. And I beat the feds. And from that point in my life, that's when it changed, and that's when the whole Hood Idol brand took on a bigger meaning and thing.
Man, you must have had a hell of a defense team.
Yeah, myself. I was co-counsel. I had to be. I went through about 4 attorneys that I was scared to go against the feds. Seems like I don't know. I don't know. It was kind of particular. So I actually had to be my co-defendant. I actually, studied and did everything I could and told.
Wait a minute. Rewind. So you went into court defending yourself?
No, I was my co-defendant. I had an attorney. I told the attorney what to say. Okay. I was my co-counsel. Definitely that. Because if he ain't say something I wanted to say, I let the judge know, and the judge would tell him, well, if that's what he wants you to do, say that. And so, and I see, you don't have enough time to go into my story, but I am a college graduate. I did graduate Jackson State University, cum laude.
Congratulations.
I have came all the way up to school as valedictorian, salutatorian, even without even studying, even though, and I was an athlete. So, I'm not, I won't say I'm one of the brightest, but I'm definitely not dumb, and I'm definitely a studier. And so that's where the Hood Idol term come from, because I came from all of that and became a positive role model on my own business. I have a marketing company, a print company, as well as other investments. The Hood Idol, the brand, consists of the clothing, like you see me wearing the hood. The hat and the shirts. I got hoodies and different apparel that say Hood Idol.
Well, I can't see it. My team sees it. They'll let me know.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking to those who watch it as well.
Right.
Yeah. Then I got Hood Idol Radio, which is my radio station. I also have Hood Idol, the magazine, which we highlight those who we consider to be Hood Idols. And, because most of the time, our idols usually be, rappers, athletes, things of that nature. So that's
Right.
kind of what, models. That's kind of how the magazine is patterned. And then I have Hood Idol, the tour. So we go city to city, giving artists an opportunity to perform. And we give them that Hood Idol experience where we put them on radio, TV, we get them the interviews, make them feel like stars, and give them that platform to showcase their talent.
Yeah, we need to get you to St. Louis. Because all they doing here, man, I love my city. They shoot a video and they put it on YouTube and they done.
Yeah, that's most places, though, by the way. That's
Most places. You seeing this in other cities, too?
Oh, it's in most cities, man. And that's why the platform I have, we educate the artists and we give them the tools they need to elevate their career no matter what level they on. But definitely, though, that's everywhere. And what I want others, people to take into consideration is that some people just doing what they like to do. They're not taking it serious. It's not a career for them. It's something kind of a toy to them, to where it's something I'm doing to have fun, or, hey, man, it feels good to tell a girl you're going to the studio, man, or even for a female to tell somebody that, you know what I mean? Like, being serious, though, like a lot of people.
It's clout. It's clout.
Yeah, it's clout. Not seeing it as a business, but to those who see it as a business and really want to get some money with it, the money is out there without ever being real big, but you got to see yourself as a business.
So you think since social media has played its part into the game now, you got some people who might want to go to the NBA, then you got some people who want to play in the D League, then you just got some people who just want to shoot in the park.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And especially with social media, it's oversaturated because social media likes to make people feel a certain way. It's whoever came up with that platform understood how the mind works and is playing a magnificent trick on most individuals. So you get that clout online and feel like, people like what you're doing or whatever. That's enough for a lot of people who maybe got other things going on in life where they don't get that form of satisfaction. So I always try to take that into account as well.
That's real talk. Thank you for taking time out, man, for rolling up to the city, man. Like I said, I know you got business to handle. Every time I talk to you, handling business. You don't take a day off, man.
No, man, I don't know nothing else, though, man. It's kind of like, I'm always handling business, but it's kind of my fun at the same time, man. You know what I mean?
You got to have passion, bro.
Yeah, man. And God definitely instilled that in me, so appreciate that.
Well, thank you for rolling up to the city, man. And let me say this before we go to this commercial break. To NBA Youngboy, Pooh Shiesty, YFN, Lucci, like I say, man, I want to see you all succeed, man. You succeed, we succeed. You know what I'm saying? But we got to learn from our mistakes, man, to move forward to help the next generation that's coming up behind you. We all are role models and examples, whether you see it or not. Little kids look up to us and what we do, bro. We be right back after these messages. Blind City, the podcast.
Langford Cunningham is really an inspiration.
Mr. Langford Cunningham.
Blind City, the podcast. It's headed up by a guy named Langford Cunningham. He had to lose his sight to find his vision.
Welcome to Blind City, the podcast. I'm your host, Langford Cunningham. We are the therapy for these streets.
Everybody got their ops, everybody got their enemies, but for real, now you don't even got to worry about your enemy. It be, the closest motherfuckers around you.
No, this is real. We getting shot by police. We getting stereotyped.
We didn't get a proper investigation. Well, definitely, I think it's a bunch of bullshit.
Your car got shot up, right?
Yeah, he struck the bullet.
Yeah, you from the hood.
They just passed a law where you can give a kid a gun without the parent's permission.
Wait a minute, they can do what? We got people in power that's not really for the people. They think the people work for them. You work for the people.
We got to talk about the disparities in our community.
Check out Blind City, the podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or go to blindcitythepodcast.com. Blind City, the podcast. We are the therapy for these streets on the Hype Magazine Network, Grind City TV, Roku. I'm your host, Langford Cunningham. I had to lose my sight to find my vision. I just had a special guest just roll up to the city. Views from the Arch. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
Oh, man, blessed and blind, using my disability as a strength. Dr. Porter.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm good, LC. How are you today?
Oh, man, blessed and blind. We got views from the Arch inside the city. And
awesome.
We're going to get into his story, man, before we really get into what he is doing in these streets, man. He's going in some of the most notorious, murderous neighborhoods, man, in these streets, man. And he gets hella clout when he goes into these streets, man. I mean, these guys, you know, they talk with him. They tell him what's going on. They got guns in the background, got dope on the table. I mean, man, I was surprised, man, you know. But he goes into these war zones and gets these good interviews of these kids inside these environments of violence, man. So Views from the Arch, my man. How did it all start from you, man? You came from the streets, bro.
Yeah. Came from the streets, North Side, St. Louis. You asked how did it start for as far as the Views from the Arch, or just me being in the streets?
Okay. Why you wearing the mask?
Well, I wear the mask probably just to conceal my identity. And then as I kind of think about it, it's really out of fear in all actuality.
Fear of what? What you did in the past? You think it might come back on you?
Yeah, it's something I think about a lot. That's kind of why, like, when I do the interviews and Views from the Arch, I don't really show myself. Just because I don't want nobody to see, oh, that's him doing that. They probably try to set up an interview, you know what they call it, backdoor me or something. Yeah,
right.
Something like that.
Finessing, right. Yeah, we losing a lot of people to backdoor. We just lost a very special good guy to the streets, and rest in peace to him. And Blanco, we with you, man. Keep your head up, bro. But anyway, so
my condolences.
Let me ask you this. Are you ever out of the gang life? Do you ever get out?
I mean, you can mature as a person, but for me, myself personally, I say no. I say no because it depends on how deep you were into it. So me, myself, I would say no because I didn't did things. People might, I guess, forgive you, but they'll never forget. Certain people never forget some of the things you did. That's why I got to constantly, like you said earlier, like constantly look over my shoulder and things like that. Because I done done things to people and people done done things to me also. I'd have been shot a few times, you know?
Oh, you been shot a few times?
Yeah.
Where did you get shot at?
I got shot 3 different times. First time was in my chest. The bullet's still in my back.
Damn.
The second time was in my knee like 6 months later. Then the third time was probably like a few years later. It's in my my right hand.
And do you still suffer from those wounds today? Your body? Is it still the same, or you still feel the effects of it today?
Periodically I do. I feel it every now and then. Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. Like, it's feeling like if I'm laying down, maybe sitting against something hard, then I definitely feel like the bullet in my back, and then my knee most definitely.
Now, you and I got into a very deep discussion one day. You and I were talking. As a matter of fact, you and I do talk a lot. The difference between the Crips and Bloods on the west coast of California compared to the St. Louis Crips and Bloods. Can you kind of talk about that? Because, the generation I'm from, we knew the Crips and Bloods went to city and baptized almost every city with this Crip and Blood mentality. But St. Louis has a different twist with it, with your generation.
Yeah, I would say probably like with your generation, it probably was more traditional, like for it's like the California style of gang banging. Like in my generation, I'm 30 now, so it was kind of like, I guess, the transitional generation from the traditional to what it is now, as far as a blend of gangs. So you got the Crips might hang with the Bloods, and the other gang like the Six Deuces and things like that. Nowadays, I would say is really no loyalty towards the colors. It's more so who you kind of deal with. But then at the same time, some people who might go against that, where they still be having loyalty towards their neighborhood, where they might have a friend who might be cool with a Blood, but they're a Crip, and this Blood might be an enemy. To where that's how you get a lot of like backdooring now, to where they will befriend you, but in the back of their mind, they still don't like you. They still don't deal with you. To where they might, y'all might do stuff together. Y'all might, migrate with each other and rise. And once y'all get to a certain point, they take you out and take everything y'all done built together, and they take it upon themselves to just run off with it.
Damn. Dr. Porter, when you're hearing this, what are you thinking? They kind of created their own system on how they're moving in these streets now, man. Did you hear what the man just said?
Yeah, when I hear that, what comes to my mind is what we're seeing is the development, or we're seeing the product of a societal enigma that has been perpetrating us as African American people. When you have to develop this subculture now in order to feel like you are a part of something, in order to feel like you have something that you control. What you're seeing is basically that people of color, especially African American men, who have not had the opportunity or do not control anything that's really tangible. We do not control water. We do not control distribution. We do not control ships, airplanes. We do not control things so far as the power that be. And so what you find is that there's a psychosis where men still want to be men and have something that they can call their own, something that they can control because of racism, systemic racism, and because of all the system that we're living in, which squeezes Black men out, which does everything to manipulate, to control, to socially engineer them in the negative. When you find men that want to be men and they have no place in normal society, then what you will see is you'll see now this subculture being developed where men can act like men, but it's a negative. It's a negative instead of a positive. And this also goes along with the deculturalization of our system, of our family, not having strong male figures or not having strong families, period, because the woman and the man are equally important in the life of a child. And when you couple that destruction of the family along with the system that is a bit toward destroying the man of color, the African-American man, especially the heterosexual sexual man, and lack of economics, lack of opportunities, lack of education. And people can say, oh, no, you do have that. People have made it. But let's be real. There is a war against men, especially the Black man. There's a war against Black people. And so you see this subculture, but the subculture is dysfunctional because people are hurting. These are a lot of men that are hurting. They're trying to find their way. They're trying to feed their family. They're trying to build up their self-esteem, but it's being done in a negative way. And this is the product of what we see. And so I'm proud of the young man for coming out, telling the story, trying to go and get these interviews, to do something to bring some type of awareness, to let those that are in power, parents that have children, have boys, women that are raising young men, to say, listen, I need to re-examine how I raise my child. I need to re-examine what culture, what we're looking at. We need to re-examine social engineering, social media. We need to re-examine these examples that's being put out there, because what we're going to find out is that we're going to send our people to an early grave. And that's what's happening right now. We're sending our people to an early grave, emotionally, psychologically, economically, and physically.
You're right, Doc. My man from Views from the Arch, let me ask you this. You're seeing the destruction of young Black men from Chicago, Detroit to St. Louis, all around America in some of the urban communities. What you think the answer is? When you hear the doc say what he just said, but do some of the young people in the streets, can they even understand Dr. Porter? Can they even relate to what he's saying and understand why they're doing what they're doing?
At the maturity level and like the mind development that they at now, I would say no, because I was once in that mind frame, in those shoes, doing some of the similar things that a lot of these younger men are doing. Like he said, I guess like the breakdown of the family, like as far as I had both parents, but they were separated. They kind of had, they issues with each other. I was just actually speaking about this earlier, but I kind of, so as a young man, took on, I guess, the protective role of my mother. But they say, I seen Kevin Samuels said as a son, husband. I kind of took on that protective role of my mother and kind of like, I guess, rebelled against my father. Even though he was there, he wasn't like he wasn't there. He probably couldn't do certain things, but he was always there. And then as far as me trying to become a man, I went towards the streets. And the bull crap man she had around her. So I kind of like, kind of looked at them, took something from them versus my own father who was there, but at the same time he was in and out of jail. So I really became a story getting my sense of manhood from the streets.
So you have children, right?
Yes, I do.
How do you raise them in this mess out here, bro?
Like you said, just be involved with their mother, like as far as like as far as showing them what real love is. One of my kids I have two different baby mothers. One I have, me and the baby mother, we don't kind of start off young. We don't get along. I try to mature, but everybody don't grow at the same time.
Facts.
But me and my previous child's mother, we actually have a similar mindset to where we, if we don't work out, we kind of going through personal things right now. But we talk a lot, but kind of show them a different way than what we was raised. Try to break a family curse or traditional way of our family's been going. As far as like both of us come from backgrounds as far as being in the hood. So we basically really trying to break that tradition and trying to show our kids something different. Whether we together or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say just more so just being involved. Like I got like I say 2 young ladies and I got a son. So just being an active father, being an active parent. And most kids nowadays, I didn't grow up like this, but most kids now they are friends with their parents. I can laugh and joke with my son, but it got to be boundaries between the difference.
Yeah, they smoking weed and drinking with their
parents.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do nothing like that. I can be a father and still I guess let my son express himself the way he wants to, but at the same time check him when he need to be checked.
Let me ask you this, okay? Talking about your son, then we're gonna boomerang it back to Doc. With your son, right now, the big debate is the crooked cops in our community that are killing young black men. But I think the bigger problem is black boys killing black boys. I really think a black boy would kill another black boy before the next cop. Mm-hmm. And I think it gets overlooked. I think when the white man comes in our community and beats us upside the head, it's all outrage. But when Pookie and them shoot each other every day,
turn a blind eye.
There you go.
As far as me, like I say, I know what I've been through as far as the gang, so I wouldn't want my son to go through those similar footsteps that I did, because at the same time, there's no loyalty in it, and that would kind of open my eyes to it. So basically, I've seen as far as other friends going to jail, see how the ones who are out react, including myself, react to them being in jail. Like you can't fill the shoes of them for their parents or their children, whether they in jail or they dead. Like I said myself, I had children, so I didn't want to put my children in their position where they missing out on what I can do for them, depending on a friendship, depending on a fellow gang member to come and step up, which they're not going to do.
So Doc, what do you think, man? Why does this black on black crime gets a black eye from people that look more at the police whooping our ass, but they don't look at us kicking each other ass every day?
Well, we have normalized dysfunctionality, and we've become numb to things that we should have never become numb to. It's become a norm. Certain things have been normalized, as I said, not to be redundant. And so then we turn around and we call it culture. That's just the way it is. He keeps saying something that's a theme within the fabric of the black diaspora: loyalty. It has been programmed in us to be disloyal toward one another, to distrust one another. And you see that's the foundation. He even said you can work together to a certain point, and then all of a sudden it seems like somebody then would want to betray you and take you out. This is a thing that's been going on for hundreds of years, ever since the rudiment of chattel slavery, because that was designed. Let me say that again. That was designed and put into us. And I believe that if people could understand that, if our people could understand that, then and understand how that came about, we can begin to heal from it. Right now, all we're doing is re-traumatizing each other. We have been traumatized. We have not gotten healing from it. And what you're seeing are broken people trying to function normally. I'm going to say it again. You have broken people, broken mentally, broken psychologically, broken emotionally, trying to function normally. We need to make sure that we seek out and understand that we need to be emotionally healed. We need to be psychologically healed in order to really move forward. We have so many different issues that plague us as a people, and that's all people. It doesn't even matter if your economic status or where you live at. We all suffer from petty differences. We suffer from jealousy, envy. We suffer from all of these different types of psychosis. And we have to deal with these things because we have post-traumatic slave syndrome that we suffer from, PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, and then we suffer from post-traumatic slave syndrome. We must understand these things and get help with these things in order to be able to have a productive society. Or we're going to keep all we're going to keep doing is reinventing trauma. And that's what we're doing right now.
You got that right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. That's real talk. You know, parents drama, kids trauma. We'll be right back after these messages. Blind City, the podcast.
The views expressed on Blind City are to inspire and motivate people who are struggling through the dark times and searching for the true light.
Are you blind? Are you blind? Open your eyes. They lying every time, so I don't trust men, only trust God. I had to lose my sight before I could see the light.
This is Blind City, the podcast, with your host, Langford Cunningham.
Blind City, the podcast. We are the therapy for these streets. I'm your host, Langford Cunningham, and I had to lose my sight to find my vision. And I just had my partner, my brother, just roll up to the city. Matter of fact, he just got off work and came through the city. And everybody, you might know him in St. Louis. To the rest of the United States, I'm finna introduce you to one guy that is making a difference in his community. D Smooth, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Brother Cunningham. It's an honor to be here, man.
Oh, man, it's an honor to have you here, bro. I salute you.
Man, salute to you on your team, too, brother.
Oh, man.
I had to give it up to them. This is a well-balanced and coordinated attack that you are raising for our community. And the issues that you are talking about need to be discussed in every podcast, in every room, in every discussion. The issues that plague our community are something that always are swept under the rug, but you are bringing them to the forefront, and that's what we need, brother.
That's it, because we're not perfect either. We
No,
ain't
not at
fell
all.
in some of them booby traps, bro.
Yeah, most
like
definitely.
I said, so I don't want people to take it wrong, like I'm criticizing. I just want to bring the awareness out and what we're going to do to try to fix some of these issues. But like I say, I didn't stole before. I didn't slept around before. I got kids from 2 different women.
Yes, sir.
I'm no better than the next man. But guess what? I'm trying to better myself every day to make sure I'm not like the last person that I became. I want to become better than that person I was on how I treat women, how I treat people. And I continue to say this. We can talk about the police whooping our ass, but we don't talk when we whoop each other ass.
That's right.
See
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? See what I'm saying?
That's what's going on.
We don't take accountability in the hood at all, but we'll point our fingers at everybody else that do something to us.
That's the truth. That's the sad truth. And that kind of degradation that we have towards our own people is a mental illness to me. You know, and it will slow, and it's like a cancer. It will slowly eat away at us until we are extinct, because that's what it's leading to. That's everything that if we don't get this racism, crime, and poverty together in our communities, because believe it or not, black on black crime is racism to me. To me, it's racism.
Expound.
So to me, when I see another when I see another black man, I will say hi. I will speak. There are black men and black women that will look straight at you and act like you're not even there. That feels like racism to me. But that's my respective person, because that's how I see it, Brother Cunningham. You know, I see it as speaking to somebody is not that hard. Speaking to somebody is the first interaction that you have with somebody, and it opens the floodgates for other interactions after that. So I feel like that is a huge problem. Just and that's just one of the problems. It's just speaking.
Facts. Well, brother, That's where we at now.
That's
in the world right now, and our community is really at trouble right now. I've never seen violence at this pace. They're killing each other on sight. That's what they used to tell me in juvenile detention, the kids, man.
It's on sight.
Mr. C, I'm killing them on sight. We'll pass out Chip Ahoy cookies before they go to bed, right, and pass out milk. I go back, sit at my desk, relaxing, and I hear 2 kids arguing. I say, hey, man, come here. One of them come in the room. I said, what y'all arguing about, man? What y'all finna fight over? That stole my cookies. I said, he stole your cookies? Yeah. When I see him, I told him I'm going to kill him on sight. I said, you going to shoot him over some cookies? He said, yeah. I said, man, come on, man. He look like you. You going to kill him over some Chipper hard cookies that was given to you for dessert. You ready to take it there with this guy. He from a different neighborhood. Well, say that. It ain't over no damn cookies. You don't like him because he from another neighborhood that your neighborhood is beefing with. Let's get to the root of the problem. Let's quit bullshitting, man.
Absolutely.
And that's what I be talking to these kids in juvenile. And man, I miss my job. It brings tears to my eyes, man. I love going into work, working with at-risk youth, the underdogs of society, and turn them into winners, man. I love working with the failures. Failure is the back door to success. Redemption.
Woo, that's good. You came up with that off the top, didn't you?
Nope. That's the name of my nonprofit, Redemption Academy. Yeah, I thought about that when I was working. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I love the youth, man.
Failure
I love
is the
it.
back door to success.
Success, bro. You can't give up on them. But anyway, speaking of success, we have a lot of people in the industry with success and still in criminal behavior, still finding themselves in trouble. Not pointing the fingers. I'm not going to do that because we don't know all of the circumstances. But T.I. and Tiny, especially T.I., big fan of T.I.'s music. Came a long way, got it out the mud. But brother, you've been to jail twice. And you keep finding yourself in situations. I want you to take a listen to this clip Lil Boosie made a comment on, and I thought it was very intriguing.
Okay.
Holy Dust, can you play? Oh, there you go, right there. Lil Boosie say lies. I thought it was kind of funny because, after I thought about it, real talk, they celebrities, man. And, with myself growing up in the hood and seeing rappers when they come to town, a lot of groupies throw themselves at them.
Absolutely.
Why would they have to force anything?
Drug anything at that point either.
How you feel about that statement by Lil Boosie?
Or
about the whole situation with T.I. and Tiny?
To be honest with you, I first let me address Boosie's statement. Okay. Boosie's statement is hilarious. I do find some truth in the fact that I've seen people throw themselves at celebrities, and it go bad. So and in this day and age, of course, there's a lot of that going around. So I'm a little hesitant on believing somebody until all the facts are proven and everything has come out, and then respect the person. I'm not T.I. Tiny, so I'm not a celebrity, so I can't say, yo, they you know what I'm saying, they own that. So I'm not a celebrity, so I can't really say, yeah, they probably did that. No, they probably didn't have to do that. But from looking at it at an eye level view, I'm like, I don't think it was. They said multiple women, and I'm like, I don't think it was multiple women that they would have to convince.
And the list getting longer. Now exactly. you got a man coming out saying he was part of the rendezvous.
Yeah, see, I see. It just starts becoming a media circus, and people trying to acclaim status from somebody else's status. I don't rock with that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be famous, put in the work and whatever you're skilled in or whatever you professionally want to do, and you become the best at it, and then you'll get your national notoriety. But I don't feel it going anywhere from where it is just now. I just feel like it. I don't want to say people's sexual lives are a joke, but now that's in our society right now, that's what it's playing as. Sexual things are a joke to people. And anything that can bring you some kind of fame, status, people are going to attach themselves to it. So I'm just at that point with it right now.
I agree, but here's the cause and effect. Since these allegations, they pulled his show, his series, his sitcom.
Oh yeah, they gonna come for his money.
Oh no, but they pulled his work. He hasn't been working since these allegations been coming out. It has affected his career. His podcast, it's no more. What's the name of their series on TV?
I think T.I. and Tidy's Family Affair.
Right.
Yeah,
that's been pulled. And it seems like that happens to us. Innocent proven guilty. They haven't even went to court yet, and they messing with the man's money. They messing with his money. They did the same thing to R. Kelly. Now, different scenarios, but same thing.
Absolutely.
I thought you supposed to go to the court of law and be proven guilty before they do anything. This man hasn't even been proven guilty. These just are allegations coming out. Did the same thing with Bill Cosby. Speaking of Mr. Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I need me some Jell-O pudding.
Just don't take it with no Quaaludes.
Yeah, none of that. Yeah.
But anyway, Bill's home.
He is. I'm happy for that, brother. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He's blind, just like me. What up, Bill?
He blind?
Yeah, he blind. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's blind. He lost his eyesight to glaucoma. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's part of the blind family.
We're gonna get him on. We're gonna have to get him on Blind City.
Hey, be a perfect show.
I tune in. I tune in all the other ones too.
I think Bill put me on the map. The questions I got for Bill. Yeah, Bill, how you like making love in the dark? I love it. I love it. Blind man go a long time, baby. But anyway, let's get back to it. Celebrities, man, seem like, sometimes you're a radio host. You work for a corporation. Streets 105.1.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the radio station.
Definitely shout out DJ Tab and all them over there.
Exactly. Doing a great job, by the way. It's a certain way you got to carry yourself.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you got to watch who you're around. People come around you don't mean they got your best interest.
Yes, sir.
And what celebrities have to learn, you got power. You got the money. Everybody want to be with you, but everybody coming around you don't mean they for you. It's a trap. So I can get a lawsuit. So I can get a case against you because I see payday. You got to be careful how you move, man. This ain't checkers. It's chess, bro.
Absolutely.
A lot of these people playing checkers. What you think, D Smooth?
So, and like you said, I'm gonna take this back to being a more of a personal thing with myself. Being in a status that I'm in, of course, I have to watch who I'm around every day, and keeping myself balanced with everything that I do. It requires a certain level of discernment. So I had to learn how to be by myself first and to love myself first before I can involve anybody or anything within my circle of me, and that's going to help me grow. So I only surround myself with people that are going to help me grow. It's about using discernment about any situation with any person, because I give people test trials before. You know what I'm saying? I have to mentally see where you're at. If a situation happens, I got to mentally see what you would do if that situation pops off and I'm around you. So it's important that people always you make sure that you are watching who you're around, make sure you're paying attention to your surroundings, and make sure you know the people that you're with are with you.
Great words, bro. Discernment. Giving people trials to prove themselves. I like it. We be right back. Blind City, the podcast, after this commercial break. Hype Magazine Network, Grind City TV, Roku.
Langford Cunningham is really an inspiration.
Mr. Langford Cunningham.
Blind City, the podcast. It's headed up by a guy named Langford Cunningham. He had to lose his sight to find his vision.
Welcome to Blind City, the podcast. I'm your host, Langford Cunningham. We are the therapy for these streets.
Everybody got their ops, everybody got their enemies, but for real, now you don't even gotta worry about your enemy. It be, the closest motherfuckers around you.
No, this is real. We getting shot by police. We getting stereotyped.
We didn't get a proper investigation. Well, definitely, I think it's a bunch of bullshit.
Your car got shot up, right?
Yeah, he struck a bullet.
Yeah, you from the hood.
They just passed a law where you can give a kid a gun without the parents' permission.
Wait a minute, they can do what? We got people in power that's not really for the people. They think the people work for them. You work for the people.
We got to talk about the disparities in our community.
Check out Blind City, the podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or go to blindcitythepodcast.com. Blind City, the podcast. D Smooth is inside the city. Streets 105.1. You can check them out. What days can they check you out? Because I get confused, bro.
So it's every Tuesday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. and Saturdays 4 to 6 p.m.
Saturdays from 4 to 6. And he be having some amazing guests from the community. He has people that are empowering people in the community, people with their businesses. A lot of young entrepreneurs is what I like about his show. Matter of fact, when I first met Mr. D Smooth, I was listening to his program. He had like 15 women in a row. I said, man, is this man Lou Hefner? Is he a player?
No.
But then I thought about it. I say, D, and I talked with him. I say, well, you have a lot of women, young entrepreneur women on your show. He said, Mr. Cunningham, they the ones reaching out.
Absolutely.
Women, man, they are out here stepping their game up. They're mayors in cities. They're in the politics. They taking care of these families. I mean, what's up with the men? Now, I speak with Dr. Porter about this, and he kind of, Dr. Porter goes into, black men are trapped and under the cards. We're not in the deck of the cards all the time, and I understand some of that. But I also believe, man, it takes hustle, man. Black men to me, you gotta know what a man is first. I understand things might play against us out here, but at the same time, we gotta know our position and know what we actually supposed to do. And I just think we got a lot of men out here, man, that's still boys. They never had that proper guidance and that real family foundation to tell them who they really are. So a lot of them out here just scrambling like Michael Vick.
I one thing that I do, and I'm gonna address the women thing too. That was International Women's Month, and a lot of entrepreneurial women, black women. I wanted to make sure that they had a chance to come up and make sure they were spotlighted and on my show, because they deserved to be. And I had seen a couple years ago that black women in St. Louis were the number one in entrepreneurship in the nation. And I'm like,
wait a minute. Say that again.
Black women in St. Louis are number one in the nation for entrepreneurship and starting their own business.
Unbelievable.
How could you not be tapped in, and how could you not have these women showcasing what they do, what they believe in, and their hard work in front of a city's eyes that sees them but doesn't honor them? So that was my thing with that, Brother Cunningham. And as far as black men, I give them the utmost of respect, because if we don't give our brothers that same kind of respect, they're not going to give it back. So anytime I can help out with anything. So the number one thing is child support. Every black man has his own child support, or facing a crime, or has a felony or something like that. Anytime I can help out with something of that standard or that issue, I'm always able to pour out and give a resource, or give a person that can help them with this, give them something that can help them with that. One thing that we don't have as black men is empathy for the next person.
Facts.
We don't have that empathy, and that's what I'm changing. I'm changing that narrative.
I think it's even towards our women as well. I think empathy is hard to find in our community in general, because everybody got their guards up. That trust.
That's true.
That trust, man.
That's very true.
We don't have trust in one another because we all been damaged. We've been through things in our past where we keep our guards up, whether it's through family dysfunction or bad relationships or being in situationships, it kind of bitters you, man.
It does.
And then when you do meet that great person, woman or guy, it's kind of like you have that in your head. Okay, it seems good. Absolutely. It looks all good, but will it resolve in the next few months or a year? Will it last? Sometimes, man, we think negative before we see positive. And I had to change that for myself because that negative thinking can kill you, bro. It's like everything you touch, it rottens.
That's good. That's true. That is true. Having the mentality that I have, and everybody knows I'm optimistic, positive, always smiling. That shapes the people that I'm around, the atmosphere that I'm in, and that shapes who I surround myself with. I get a lot of people that are moving in the right direction towards the positivity avenue of what's going on in life. So that's that. Your attitude is your latitude.
So how you feel, man, with the wrap up? Talk to me. What you got to say to the people out there, man? Why should they listen to you Tuesday through Saturday? And how can they find you on your social media, man?
Man, look, listening to me or listening to Brother Cunningham is like listening to me. Except I don't have that dynamic like he does, man. That dynamic voice and that dynamic tone, and he is in your face about it. I'm a little laid back, so I'm a work with you. But Brother Cunningham gonna let you know straight up and down, you wrong, and with no conviction. So look, man, y'all can listen to me on Streets on the 5.1. Also type in on Instagram DSmoove, DSMOOVEE, straight like that, straight easy. You can also Google me too. It's DSmoove, 2 O's, 2 E's with a V in the middle. And look, y'all can tap in with all the social medias. Talk to me if you want to come up. Talk to me about what you got going on, what you trying to do in the city. Anything positive, I'm willing to hear it. Any entrepreneurs that are trying to get their business off the ground, I'm willing to help push it. So and any community organization that is willing to work, I am willing to work with you side by side so we can cure what we are trying to do and cure this illness in our Black community. So, Brother Cunningham, I appreciate you for welcoming me. I appreciate you welcoming me in the building. The team that you have is dynamic, and I look forward to seeing what you have coming up next and how you are going to impact this community from your seat. It's a blessing to see that I have a brother that's doing the same thing and doing it at a magnificent level.
That's right, brother. We're going to make a difference in the community. And I thank you for what you've been doing with the community with Streets 105.1. And one thing I got to say, Blind City the podcast, my man DSmoove, he ain't rough around the edges. He's smooth when it comes to changing the community. Check out Blind City the podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or go to blindcitythepodcast.com.